sa'yo'y hanggang langit at ang aking
Do Papua New Guineans like Emmanuel, Cecile and Michael really believe PNG is developing a middle class?
There has to be, because we're in the market economy.
I think that PNG can raise the level of lifestyle that we have.
We don't need to be like anything else other than Papua New Guineans.
DJCell TV, home of Rugby League. Dial *515# to subscribe.
The Tvwan News is proudly brought to you by
This edition, new look Badili Police Barracks opens. Catholic Church thanks government for support. And Tvwan will host carnival after 9 long years. The new-look Badili Police Barracks in Moresby South was officially opened and handed over to NCD Police yesterday following the completion of its renovation.
Minister for Foreign Affairs and Member for Moresby South Justin Kachenko officiated at the handover of the 1 million kina new-look police barracks to NCD Metropolitan Superintendent Silvasika yesterday in Port Moresby. The project was funded under the Moresby South District Services Improvement Program and renovated by contractor China Steel. The new refurbishments include 22 fully furnished rooms with air conditioning, a new kitchen, outdoor laundry and bathrooms with regular water supply. The building is complete with secure fencing. Minister Kachenko said the police barracks, which was built 12 years ago, had deteriorated to the point where it was impossible for the policemen and women to live in it and perform their duties. Kachenko says this renovation was done so that police officers can have a proper, healthy, safe and conducive place to live in so they can do their work without fear and favor. He recommended that only police officers living and working in Moresby South are accommodated in the barracks. This is to ensure that officers are readily available to attend to the safety and law and order matters of the Moresby South people. Matsup Silvasika acknowledged Minister Kachenko and urged the policemen and women to look after their infrastructure. Chinese Ambassador His Excellency Yang Jiungguang, who was present to witness the ceremony, added that China is committed to assisting PNG in infrastructure development, and the Badili Police Barracks were among the many. Freddie Mo, Tvwan News.
Police Commissioner David Manam warned citizens that the vote of no confidence motion that is on foot is a political and democratic process, and citizens must refrain from getting involved. Manam said a perfect example is the January 10th civil unrest where there is no benefit to anyone. It is incumbent upon our political leaders to complete the process fairly and legally. The Commissioner said police will be out in full force to ensure citizens do not take advantage of the VONC and start another riot in the city when Parliament sits on Thursday, September 12.
In the midst of another parliamentary sitting, why I make mention of that parliamentary sitting, because as many of you know, there is a vote of no confidence or a motion of no confidence on foot. Let me remind all our citizens, especially those in the city, that this is a political and democratic process. And as we saw on January 10th, there is no benefit to anybody apart from our leaders to complete the process as fairly and as legally and as democratic as possible.
Don Bosco Technical Secondary School in Vanimo is transforming education and community development through a digital hub established by the EU Straight PNG program. The school, once limited by outdated equipment, now offers students, farmers and agripreneurs access to digital tools, e-commerce training and financial literacy. The initiative has provided new computers, printers and solar power, enabling the school to bridge the technological gap in rural Vanimo. The Resource Center has empowered over 100 agripreneurs and improved ICT education for the school's 838 students, with plans for further expansion to meet growing demand. The 2024 edition of the WTO's World Trade Report presents strong evidence that trade has played a crucial role in narrowing the income gap between economies since the WTO was established 30 years ago. The flagship publication also analyzes trends in the distribution of the gains of trade among people within economies and emphasizes the need for a comprehensive strategy that integrates open trade with supportive domestic policies. The economies of Pacific Islands nations, including Papua New Guinea, are part of this analysis. Examining how international trade has contributed to making the global economy more inclusive, the report showcases data establishing a strong link between trade participation and the narrowing of income disparities among economies. From 1996 to 2021, a high trade share in GDP is significantly correlated to faster growth in low and middle-income economies, converging to the level of GDP per capita in high-income economies. The report found that Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands, Tonga and Vanuatu did not converge while Samoa converged, meaning that Samoa is perhaps enjoying enhanced productivity, greater investment, stable economic stability, improved infrastructure, and human capital development more than their counterpart island nations. The report also highlights challenges, noting that many economies with weak trade participation and high commodity dependence have been left behind.
Making trade more inclusive is a top priority for WTO members. Their shared objective is to ensure that trade benefits more economies and more people. Since the establishment of the WTO 30 years ago, per capita incomes in low and middle income economies have nearly tripled, significantly narrowing the income gap with high income economies. Our estimates suggest that up to 1/3 of this convergence can be attributed to reductions in trade costs facilitated in part by the WTO. The share of people living in extreme poverty in low and middle income economies dropped from 40% to around 11% since 1995, while the share of trade in these economies' GDP doubled from about 16% to 32%.
Earlier in March of this year, Minister for International Trade and Investment Richard Maru represented the Pacific region at the World Trade Organization's 13th Ministerial Conference in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. There, he advocated for the removal of harmful fisheries subsidies that lead to overfishing and overcapacity that will eventually lead to the destruction of tuna and fishery stocks right throughout the Pacific region. Also states that a true inclusive comprehensive trade strategy that integrates open trade with supportive domestic policies and robust international cooperation, such as the efforts being currently promoted by the national government in their efforts for a joint venture with RD for a fishing company that is said to boost the local economy. This is TV1 News. We'll have more stories after the break.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Open nets.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time for kim chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste P&G loves.
A quick favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in P&G and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier by you like you more.
Superstition ain't the way.
Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has strongly condemned Gulf Provincial MP Sir Chris Haiveta for what he describes as an attempt to mislead the people of Papua New Guinea in the lead-up to the critical vote of no confidence scheduled for Thursday, September 12. Marape expressed concern over Sir Chris's public statements claiming that Papua New Guinea is on the verge of financial collapse and calling for the Prime Minister's resignation.
Marape is not taken too kindly to a statement from provincial member for Gulf Sir Chris Haiveta regarding the country's financial status, saying Governor Haiveta's comments are misleading, especially on the eve of the no-confidence vote. The Prime Minister says the country is not on the brink of financial collapse. He added that he will not resign as per Sir Chris's comments, but challenging Sir Chris to bring his numbers to the floor of Parliament come Thursday. The Prime Minister said nothing regarding the financial state of the country is hidden and that Treasury will soon be releasing the 2024 mid-year economic and fiscal outlook. The final budget outcomes of the last 5 years shows that the government has a very high level of achievement. The Prime Minister also pointed out that running a deficit budget is not a new strategy for the country. Sir Chris, in a statement issued yesterday, said the latest cash flow report for the period ending August 31st, 2024 reveals PNG is on the brink of a financial collapse. He said this is a crisis that demands immediate action, and the vote of no confidence this week brings about an opportunity for a change in leadership. Sir Chris also claimed that Pangu Party's legacy is being destroyed by its current leadership and called on Pangu MPs to consider pulling out of government to save their party and the nation. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Prime Minister Marape has welcomed the news that Indonesians of West Papua have traveled across the border to Vanimo, Sandaun province to participate in the program for the Papal PNG visit. The Prime Minister was especially heartened to note that the movement across the PNG-Indonesian border has directly stemmed from an agreement signed with outgoing Indonesian President Joko Widodo in July.
Prime Minister James Marape, when commenting on the movement of people of West Papua to Vanimo for Pope Francis's visit, explained that one of the areas under the signed Memorandum of Understanding with Indonesia was to allow land vehicles to travel across the border into either Papua New Guinea or Indonesia from the other country, transporting people and cargo. This expands the traditional border crossing practice already in existence, as Papua New Guineans and Indonesians can move to and fro in conducting business, trade and commerce, or in people-to-people movement. Marape added that it is heartening to see Indonesians from West Papua travel in vehicles over the border to join the Papal program in Vanimo. He said he was heartened to see one of our many works in foreign affairs coming to pass as the government continues to expand people-to-people, business-to-business, and government-to-government relationships with our neighbor. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
The Catholic Church has thanked the government for its assistance in ensuring the papal visit to Papua New Guinea was hosted successfully. The organizing committee expressed how working in unity between the Church and government can bring about positive change to the country. The government had allocated 10 million kina for the papal visit.
Head of the organizing committee, Bishop Rosario Menezes, in thanking the government, made a special mention of the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Justin Techenko, and his department for all the help accorded to the church to make the papal visit a success.
And very special thank you to Honorable Justin Techenko, our Foreign Affairs Minister. I think without his assistance, without his backup, many things would not have happened.
The government had allocated funds for the visit. Bulk of the funds were used to pay service providers.
It was not the cash which was given to us. They paid all the service providers from the government. I think that is the rule from the government. But they also gave to the Archdiocese of Port Moresby 1.4 million for all the expenses around. CBC also put aside 1.5 million for this event. And also we got some donations from around the country, around the world, to assist us for the preparation of this event.
He also cleared misconceptions about the Prime Minister's scheduled meet with the Pope that never eventuated at the scheduled time. In brushing aside critics who speculated that Marape ditched the meeting, Bishop Rosario said miscommunication led to the Prime Minister not meeting the Pope on time, but he made it up after the Mass.
This is very important that we should know the truth behind what happened. Why? It's not because Prime Minister didn't wanted to see the Pope, that's why he didn't go. No. There was on Saturday afternoon, Friday something, we were told that the Mass on Sunday will be preponed 30 minutes. The Mass was supposed to start at 8:45. They asked us to put it at 8:15. So which means all the program were preponed 30 minutes. So visit of Prime Minister Marape and the meeting between Holy Father and Marape was also 30 minutes earlier.
Questions were asked on whether PNG should have an ambassador in Vatican, to which the bishop said that it was something for the government to consider.
So it's an issue of the PNG government to look at the importance of having an ambassador of the our ambassador in the Vatican. So it's a process, it's going to take a while.
The papal visit to Papua New Guinea from the 6th to the 9th of September was hailed a success as the organizing committee is reeling with joy from hosting this event. Ruth Rungola, TV1 News.
Close to 40,000 people who attended Mass on Sunday morning at the Sir John Guy Stadium were treated to sounds of joy emanating from a choir group who has prepared for the day over 5 months. The combined choir group, comprising over 500 men, women and children from the Archdiocese of Port Moresby, ensured the music and song at the Papal Mass was flawless.
Thousands of people who participated in the Mass on Sunday at the Sir John Guy Stadium, and even those who joined online from around the country and overseas, commented about the beautiful voices that sang joyfully during the Mass. The liturgy flowed seamlessly with no errors, singing was perfect, and the overall Mass was rated a success, thanks to the work of the liturgy committee.
Had the coordinators of these 4 committees, and every one of them have done an excellent job.
The choir group comprised 500 members of the choir and 26 musicians, who mostly played guitars, 2 keyboards and a bass guitar. Choir coordinator Clement Papal was happy with the work of the group and attributed this outcome to months of practice.
We've been practicing every 2 hours on Sundays. So once a week, 2 hours. But as the months came closer, we started to go out to parishes to practice as well in the evenings.
Sound engineering was provided by Next of Kin Productions, with families participating in the choir. Music conductor Gideon Giovadulu ensured the music and singing were precise and consistent with parts of the liturgy. To him, it was a normal Catholic Mass.
We don't just pick songs and sing them. For such occasion with the Holy Father, we need to get approval from the Vatican. So most of the songs that we've had sung in this Eucharistic celebration were approved by the Vatican. They were all sent back to the Vatican for approval. As we were waiting for Vatican for approval, we started doing our practices in April of this year.
After reviewing the comments received about the choir, Mr. Papal is happy to have impacted the lives of many through music. Ruth Rungola, TV1 News.
An impressive program reflecting the issues and concerns of young people in Papua New Guinea unfolded before Pope Francis at the Sir John Guy Stadium in Port Moresby on the 9th of September. Around 15,000 young people witnessed this special and memorable gathering.
Pope Francis was welcomed by youth in traditional attire representing the 22 provinces. With the program opened by the colorful Kairuku dancers, the stage was amazing in a show of love, harmony and unity. Youth voices were then expressed through verse, poetry, song and dance. Accompanied by the energetic music, a group of dancers from Islands of Hope showcased the beauty and the vibrant life of Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. Young people highlighted issues related to family, the environment, culture, and education. The theme song, Lord Teach Us to Pray, was staged and captured the hearts and minds of those present in a spirit-filled atmosphere. The powerful testimonies of young people touched the hearts of Pope Francis and all present, and their words resonated with their fellow youth. The Holy Father then expressed his joy at being in a country full of young people and thanked them for the beautiful performances. Pope Francis emphasized building harmony with God and others, stressing the importance of caring for others. Susan Oriape, TV1 News.
The Pope's message to the country for peace and unity is a timely reminder to Papua New Guinea and its people. In recounting the words of the Pope calling for youths to help each other by helping others when they fail, Bishop Rosario Menezes said there was no better time to receive this message than today as the country prepares for its 50th year anniversary.
An overjoyed Bishop of Lay Diocese, who was the national coordinator of the papal visit, shared the joy of hosting the Pope, but stressed the messages left behind by the Holy Father.
I want to remind ourselves and all the citizens of Papua New Guinea the message that the Holy Father has left us with. For the children, he said, keep the light burning. Keep the light burning. Sometimes we might find ourselves in the dark, but you have the light, keep it burning. For the youth, the message was very clear. When you fall, don't remain there, but get up, because anybody can make mistakes.
The Pope may have spent just 2 days on our shores, but the messages he shared with the nation were profound and meaningful to a nation ravaged by crime, violence, and poverty. His message was simple and clear, a message of peace and unity.
So all in all, he has left with us the message of love, unity, and service. So now for me, I think this was a very timely visit of the Holy Father with this message that he has left with us to prepare for our 50th independence next year. So I think from this year independence, if we take heed to the message that Holy Father has given to us, I think we can truly prepare ourselves to celebrate the Golden Jubilee of our nation.
Bishop of Beraina Diocese and President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of PNG and Solomon Islands reiterated the importance of the Pope's message to the nation.
He was emphasizing peace. Peace. He said the word peace 3 times. And it was echoed very loudly to all the Papua New Guineans listening. So I want to take on that up, and I want to encourage all of us in one way or another. We must promote peace. Peace in our homes, peace in our communities, peace in wherever we are working in walks of life. So peace is the important thing that will unite us as one people, one nation, one country.
He said the challenge now was for the government and the church to give hope to the young people.
Church and government must work together to help our young people to have the hope in their lives. Because all the testimonies they were saying, the young people were saying, we are nothing, we are hopeless. Life is so difficult for us. And the Pope said, no, there is hope in your life. So we, Papua New Guinea's government and church, or what we call other agencies involved in promoting our young people, we must give hope to our young people.
And the success of the papal visit, Bishop Otto said, was a demonstration of what can be achieved when the church, the government, and the people work together. Ruth Rongola, TV1 News.
We'd like to apologize that we're unable to bring you the market report this evening. It was not provided to us. This now brings us to the end of this segment. We'll be back with news from abroad after these short messages.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy paid units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
When you're spending time with family, when
you've got a big day ahead. When you have given it all you've got. When you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
Scale Rise brings to you some Scale Indie vibes this independence. Cashing out a total of 300,000 Kina in prize money around PNG this independence. 4 fortnightly draws, 75 fortnightly winners, 300 total Scale Rise winners, and 1,000 Kina Scale Indie prize for every Scale winner. Here's how to enter the promotion. Buy any Scale or Ori Rice product, write your full name and contact details on the back of the store receipt, drop your entry into the entry box in store. For more information, either check in store or follow us on our Scale Rise PNG page. Terms and conditions apply. Scale Rise, and buy you like it.
Dreaming for more than the life we've known. There is more to what the future holds. You need holy man to walk one time. Oh, 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 oh. We dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 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 oh. With money plus we're ready to go.
Welcome back. In news around the region, Fiji's government is ramping up efforts to tackle the escalating threat of illicit drug trafficking with the establishment of a new counter-narcotics bureau and the introduction of robust legislation to combat drug-related crime. The bureau will work closely with key law enforcement agencies to dismantle narcotics networks and implement targeted enforcement operations. Fiji government highlighted the broader impacts of the drug trade, noting how it has infiltrated communities and families, leading to a rise in drug-related crime and violence as well as addiction. Families of children with level 3 autism are demanding answers after thousands of dollars were suddenly stripped from their NDIS plans. Support services say the cuts have forced some struggling parents to consider handing their children over to state care.
The difference in Delilah Miller is night and day. Go! The 3-year-old has level 3 autism. Mainstream preschool wasn't working out, so she moved to AEIOU, an early intervention service for autistic children.
She went from a screaming, non-sleeping, non-verbal little girl to the exact opposite within 3 months.
But the cost is taking a toll. Her mother, Chloe Thompson, has twice applied for more NDIS funding for the specialised care. Both requests were denied.
Yeah, I'm just at a bit of a loss of what to do.
AEIOU says problems like this are very common.
A lot of the families have had their plans cut by about 60%.
For some, that's tens of thousands of dollars.
Their reviews have been rejected, and unfortunately these families have to exit our service or move to a part-time placement.
AEIOU says the funding cuts have seen some parents already struggling with their mental health forced to consider handing their children into state care because they can't support them without the specialised care and therapy. The NDIS denies there have been any cuts and says the average payment per participant is growing. Autism agencies say there is still work to do, with more transparency needed.
For some of our parents, they are getting to the point where they're saying, I don't feel like I can keep going with this battle.
A battle that, for many, is only just beginning.
The housing crisis and stubborn inflation fight isn't hitting all households equally. A generational split is starting to emerge, with baby boomers and older Australians less likely to be impacted by the cost of living crisis.
In Victoria's high country, baby boomers like Murray and his wife are enjoying their ski holiday. What they can't escape is a growing generational gap in spending.
The older people have the money to spend,
and the younger people are finding it a bit tough.
Boomers, born between 1946 and 1964, are more likely to have paid off their housing, putting them in a good financial position, while inflation, rising rents and interest rate-fuelled mortgage repayments have put younger generations under considerable pressure.
The numbers that they've got now compared to when we had our mortgages, it's just astronomical.
Ski store owner Paddy Hoy sees the gap when the time comes to settle the bill.
So we have grandparents coming and they're throwing their credit cards across our counter, whereas in the past it was generally more spread out throughout the family.
Data from the anonymised accounts of 7 million Commonwealth Bank customers reveal the spending of people aged below 59 has either fallen or risen by less than inflation. But those aged 60 or above are splashing out, more than what prices have increased by.
You can't blame the boomers, as so many people like to do, for perhaps demand running a little bit hotter than the Reserve Bank would like.
That's because younger generations spend more overall as they buy houses and raise children.
It's just tough to be young, and it always has been.
For people with assets, superannuation and bank deposits, rising interest rates have sent more money their way.
Are you saying you caused inflation?
Well, sometimes spending money, yeah.
We know that monetary policy is a blunt instrument and the impact is being felt unevenly across society. But with higher interest rates seemingly here to stay, that disparity is only going to get wider.
A growing divide across generations.
The driver behind the fatal Hunter Valley bus crash has begun hearing harrowing victim impact statements. Brett Button will hear 60 people, including victims' family members and survivors, speak this week before he is sentenced.
Grieving families arriving for the start of 3 confronting days in court. 10 people were killed when a bus overturned on a roundabout in Greta last June. 25 were injured. Among the victims were Lynn Scott and her husband Andrew. Today her mother told Newcastle Court, "My heart cannot accept the loss." Listening to her harrowing account was the man responsible for the crash, Brett Button. Today he heard from the first 17 family members and survivors before his sentencing. Graham McBride's wife Nadine and daughter Kaya were killed in the crash. He was badly injured. He told the court he misses having a glass of wine on the hill with his wife. "Now I sit there alone, watching the sunset, hoping you'll come back with the sunrise in the morning." Rebecca Mullen's father described how his daughter was planning her wedding and her career as a doctor. "Our lives were destroyed. Touching your daughter's cold arm in a morgue is something a father can't explain." Brett Button asked to appear remotely in court for the sentencing hearing. The judge denied the request, forcing him to sit just metres away from his victims' loved ones who delivered impact statements. Button's family was also in the courtroom. Judge Roy Ellis described the 3 days of hearings as unprecedented. Never before have so many people been killed and injured in a single motor vehicle incident. Emotions are likely to run high over the next few days, and these proceedings are going to be unsettling for the victims and their families. In May, Button pleaded guilty to multiple charges, including several counts of dangerous driving occasioning death. The judge said the sentence will be lengthy.
Back home, the displaced people of Manam Island, Medan Province can now breathe in a sigh of relief as their case against the government has been closed off with a fair decision handed down by Justice Dr. Virgil Narakobi on the 3rd of this month.
The government, recognizing their plight, has facilitated their reintegration into a new environment through the passage of 2 pieces of legislation, the recent being the Manam Resettlement Authority Act 2016. They claim that since 2004, they have been permanently resettled by the Manam Resettlement Authority as required by the Act, and they have suffered and continue to suffer violation of their human rights. The plaintiff, Bruce Silla, representing over 10,000 displaced Manam Islanders, sued the independent state of Papua New Guinea as the first defendant, chairman of the Manam Resettlement Authority as second defendant, Manam provincial government as third defendant, and the Manam Resettlement Authority as the fourth defendant for negligence and human rights. The plaintiffs have been displaced by a volcanic eruption in 2004 on Manam Island. They have been resettled in 3 care centers on mainland Bogia and part of Sumkar districts. After the court's decision, lawyer representing Manam Resettlement Authority, Godwin Haumu, stated that Justice Dr. Narokobi had made a fair decision accounting for the limitations and challenges faced in carrying the relocation project forward.
The case itself was filed in 2018. I suppose the respective instrumentals of the state has sought to appreciate what has been going on within the casetas that they're living in. Most importantly, about their welfare in terms of, when you talk about the rights are composed of various categories. You have the health, the education, and other rights, general public rights that is covered by the law, most particularly the Constitution.
Justice Dr. Narokobi also discovered that funding allocated for the Manam Resettlement Authority moving the project ahead was diverted into the Manam provincial government's trust account, resulting in some of it being embezzled, a sum of 6 million kina. The court has ordered the Department of Finance to replace that money within 6 months with a follow-up in court to see that the order has been complied with. The courts have also ordered certain government institutions to be made aware of the court order and participate accordingly. Susan Oriape, TV1 News.
This is TV1 News. Rex joins us after the break with all the sporting details.
These two are creeping into your personal space. Why don't we send them packing? Oh, or maybe not.
Bing bang bing, bum bum.
Welcome to Bagger!
Want more entertainment in your life?
What a cry, baby.
TV1 Plus has all your favorite drama to keep you entertained.
Time to give Mama all the kisses.
Perfect!
No! Please don't kill me!
Get TV1 Plus in the 20-channel prepaid pack and watch all your favorite drama non-stop. Watch TV1 Plus and 19 more great channels for your viewing pleasure.
So many have tried.
Rockin' with America.
Subscribe to TV1 Plus now on the 20-channel digital prepaid pack 1, 7, 14 or 30 and enjoy 20 channels of world-class entertainment.
And business blew me, Carlos, because me Mary blew you.
Thank you, princess.
How do I look today? Dial star 515# to subscribe now. Digital TV, more channels, more choice, more value.
St. John Ambulance, how can we help you?
Calls like these are a part of our day-to-day routine at St. John Ambulance.
Office base, this is Alpha 130. We cannot locate the patient or the house.
Our crew is unable to locate you. Ma'am, I would like to send you a text which has a link that can help us find you.
Introducing the GoodSim application. When you click on the link, you give us permission to log into your location and get to you in time.
Confirmed office base. Alpha 130 has arrived on scene.
There's someone out there who's made just for me.
Every girl has a dream.
The one who's made for me will step in my life in a unique way.
A dream to find her Prince Charming. The man who will make her dreams come true. Every girl's dream, coming soon to TV1 Plus.
Welcome back. In sports, Raukele Dolphins women's team solidified their legacy as the premier women's volleyball club champions in Papua New Guinea by clinching their 4th consecutive national club championship title yesterday. In a thrilling final against Eka Kerebuya, the Dolphins showcased their resilience in a hard-fought 5-set battle. The Dolphins started strong, taking the first set 25-16 with their aggressive play. They maintained their momentum in the second set, winning 25-20. However, Eka Kerebuya fought back fiercely, winning the third set 25-20 and pushing through to take the fourth set 25-23, leading the match at 2 sets apiece. With everything on the line in the 5th and deciding set, Raukele Dolphins edged out Eka Kerebuya with a narrow 2018 victory. As the dust settles on another successful campaign, the Raukele Dolphins remain the team to beat in PNG women's volleyball, proudly holding on to their bragging rights as the reigning champions for yet another year. It has been 9 years since the Huonville Primary School in Lae, Morobe Province hosted a school carnival. Sports coordinator and grade 8 teacher Elizabeth Miria said despite finding constraints and wet weather, the students determinedly helped to prepare the school for the 2-day event.
The Huonville Primary School in Lae, Morobe Province, is the biggest school in the district with over 2,200 students. Today, the school finally started the first day of its 2-day sports carnival with grade 8 teacher and sports coordinator Elizabeth Miria saying preparation started 3 weeks ago in week 7. Miria said the last sports carnival was held 9 years ago, hence she was determined to turn things around with the support of her assistant as well as the senior students. Deputy head teacher Salome Sangi, who has been teaching at Huonville since 2013, explained that after 6 of their classrooms were condemned in 2018, the school had no time or money to host extracurricular activities.
As you can see in the background, we had our school was demolished and we did not have enough funds to run such outdoor activities. So we were concentrating on our infrastructure of the school, that we were building down there, and you know, as we are approaching this time, we don't have enough funds and resources. That was the main delay that we had.
The school was able to get approval from the Lae Metropolitan Command to block off 7th Street, starting from Robin Street to Hornbill Crescent, and had members of the community help out as marshals, with the sports committee encouraging 7th Street residents to take ownership of the event as their children attend Huonville and the event is for their benefit. Grade 8E student and White House team captain and Darius had nothing but great things to say. Kamela Guare, TV1 Sports, Lae.
AFL PNG has announced a train-on squad for the upcoming AFL Pacific Cup tournament set for November 14th to 24th in Queensland, Sunshine Coast, Australia. The Port Moresby Premier AFL Association again dominates the 47-man squad with a window of 2 weeks to train, trimmed down to 25. POM AFL President Douglas Lai has confirmed the bulk of the players were picked from the Port Moresby Association, being the strongest and biggest premier competition in the country. Lai revealed that one notable omission from the squad is PNG AFL sensation Hewago Paul Oea, along with other Australian-based players who might not be eligible to represent the country due to existing contracts with the respective Australian clubs, except for Gland Siagong and a few other boys who will be joining the squad. From Moresby Association, 8 were named from West Club: Bombers 7, Tigers 1, Dockers 4, Magpies 8, Koboni 8, Lae 7 and Kimber 2. It was a remarkable turnaround for the MBB Marlins under-20 team in the Capital Rugby Union competition. They finished at the bottom in the competition in 2023, but found themselves making grand final this year. This MBB Marlins under-20 side last year was an easy push. They were easily flogged by their opponents. They had some top talents in the team, but there was no grit and determination in the team, which changed this year. Marlins head coach Rawali Bokwik expressed that the team has turned up this year. He said the boys haven't done much, both on and off the field, to make it through. He said their forward pack lacked in height and size, and the backs lacked height and weight, coupled with not enough talent at the club to back up, but the team was willing to work hard, and they deserve to play in the grand final. Bokwik said the under-20s commitment was unwavering, their dedication unmatched, as they had one goal, and that was making the grand final at the Santos National Football Stadium. Their resilience was shown in the preliminary finals against Harlequins. The team was trailing by 1.78 behind Harleys as the clock was ticking down. They never gave up. They kept on pushing, and the opportunity presented itself to them when they scored late to win the match 12 points to 8. Marlins meet University Piggies in the under-20 grand final on 21st September at the Santos National Football Stadium. West Tigers keeper and Fiji hero Api Koresau will miss the Pacific Championships after being banned for 3 matches for a dangerous throw during his side's loss to Eels. Koresau tackled on Clint Goodison at Campbelltown Sports Stadium. This was his second offence. He carried 3-game ban with an early guilty plea. The Bati kicked off the Pacific Bowl campaign against PNG on Saturday, October 19th in Fiji, before hosting the Cook Islands a week later. The winner of the Pacific Bowl plays the third-place team in the Pacific Cup at Combank Stadium on Sunday, November 10th, in a promotion relegation match for next year's tournament. Meanwhile, retiring Dolphins keeper Jesse Bromwich has been charged with a dangerous contact offence in his final match in the NRL. Bromwich's hit on Kylan Ponga has assessed as a grade 2 and carries a 1-match ban with an early guilty plea. Sacks back rower Tague Wilton was also charged with dangerous contact after his side's win over Manly and faces a $1,000 fine with an early guilty plea. Jerry Dane could return to rugby league with Fiji approaching the former NRL man about a remarkable comeback in this year's Pacific Championships.
Hayne has not played a competitive game of rugby league since 2018, but has been approached about a surprise return to the sport by the Fiji coach Waise Kativerata, who has confirmed the door is open for the 36-year-old should he wishes to play rugby league at the highest level again. Fiji national coach Kativerata says if he is fit, they're just waiting on his decision if he's interested, which will be a boost for the team. Hayne was released from prison in June after winning an appeal against a rape conviction. He has since been training with a specialized sprinting coach Roger February as he eyes a return. February said Jared is an elite athlete and one guy you never ever disregard when he puts his mind to something. But any decision for Hayne to represent Fiji would be complicated and likely controversial, as he does not have a contract in the NRL. He would need approval from ARL Commission to be registered to feature in the Pacific Championships later this year. Hayne played 10 times for Fiji early in his career, while also representing Australia at the international level. Hayne also played rugby sevens for Fiji in 2016 and is now being earmarked over a potential return. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
That's it for sports. Maricela provides us with weather details.
Southern, Port Moresby, partly cloudy, possible inland thunderstorm. Daru, mostly fine. Kerma, partly cloudy with chances of rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Momase, Ley, partly cloudy with possible brief showers. Medan, mostly fine. Vanimo, cloudy with some rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, partly cloudy. Havian, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo, Rabaul, mostly cloudy with chances of few showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, cloudy with chances of few showers and drizzles. Highlands, Goroka, Bans, Kundiawa, cloudy with some rain showers. Mandi, Tari and Wabeg, cloudy with some rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Coral Sea, seas rather rough to rough with southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots increasing to 33 knots in the afternoon. Solomon Sea, seas moderate with southeast winds of 15 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas light to moderate becoming rough to very rough along the southern sector with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots increasing to 25 to 33 knots with stronger gusts of 34 to 40 knots along southern sector. Pacific Ocean, seas light to moderate with east to northeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Islands, to Kerema to Yule Island, to Hood Point to Samarai Islands. Seas 2 to 2.5 meters, rising to 3 meters at times along warning areas. Waters of Finchafan through Vitia Strait to CSE Long Islands. Seas 2 to 3 meters, rising to 3.5 meters at times along gale warning areas. And waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 3 meters at times. That brings us to the end of this edition of TV1 News. Have a pleasant evening. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.